So when it comes to exporting, there's a few different options. The first step before exporting anything is to copy your media files into a project folder. And you'll see it said finished gathering 2 files. So there's 2 files, probably our background and our audio file, that were not in this project folder. And now we can select our Puppet file and then click File, Export, Puppet. And this will export the puppet that we finished building. So next what we want to do is we want to trim our animation. You see here that Professor K comes all the way out to the 5-minute marker, but this particular video that I've made is only about 37 seconds long. So now the simple way would be to just drag this purple bar back, but say that we have a really complex scene with 1,000,000 backgrounds and 12 characters and just a lot going on. Well, what we can do is we can utilize this little white section right here. And if you don't see this section, you can click Enable Work Area, and then we can scrub our timeline to the end. And let's zoom in. We'll go one more frame over, and we can right click up here and say Set Work Area to End Playhead. And once that's done, you can actually use your double arrow tool to scoot it all the way back. And after you've had your whole animation in this lighter gray area, you can right click and trim scene to work area. Now watch what happens to this little white area at the very start. It expanded. It expanded to include everything, and then it also cut everything out that wasn't in our scene. So now we have just the one animation we worked on. After you finish creating your animation, you can go to File, Export. There's 2 options. There's video via Adobe Media Encoder and video with Alpha via Adobe Media Encoder. Alpha is a fancy way of saying transparent background. So if you do not have your backgrounds implemented in this software and you're going to do it in a different software, you want to export with Alpha. We have a background, so we're going to do Adobe Media Encoder. It's going to ask you to select where to save your MP4 to or associated file type. We want to make sure our format is H.264. There's other options to export as MP4 that I've heard of in the past, but this is the one I've personally always used, H.264. And then for preset, I always have match source, high quality, but if you want to follow a smaller file size, select a smaller bitrate and it'll give you a slightly smaller file size. I haven't noticed too much of a difference on quality when it comes to cartoons on exporting with a smaller file size. We want to export our video and our audio, and just click OK. And then this is where it's going to save. And by clicking play, you begin your encoding. Let that run through, and your first file is completely done. Congratulations! It's been a long road, I know. If you found these tutorials helpful, or if you're looking for assistance one-on-one, be sure to join our Discord server. There's a link in the description down below. On our Discord, we feature a section for people to ask questions that might be stuck somewhere on their journey. And both myself and our community have been great at responding to those questions. I've also included sections for collaborating with each other on future projects, as well as a section to hire out future animators for my animation studio. I hope you found these tutorials helpful. If so, be sure to follow for more in-depth 202 tutorials later on. Appreciate you guys. Happy animating!